Chess is more than a game. It's strategy, it's intelligence, it's friendship. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my channel. The game has just begun.
Hi chess friends, today I'm here again to show you some problems of the book of Bernd Rosen. Last time we have done 5 problems, so here next 5 problem, and in this position it's black to move and you have to find the way to draw. It's possible to draw. And last time I told you about the rule of opposition, and here black has to avoid the opposition. For example, if you come here, it's completely losing for black, because white can gain the opposition. How? In this way. And if black come here, white come here. So here black lose the opposition, okay? If you come here, you come here. And now it's easy, win. And now white will promote the pawn. Easy. So king d7 is not a good move, because here white gains the opposition. King e7, it's the same. It's not a good move, because here white gains the opposition. In this way this time. And after the king move, white can come here and will push the pawn. So if you come here, for example, it's the same. It's not important. White gains the position. Okay? The right move here is king d8, because in this way, if white play king d5, there is king d7, and now is black to have the opposition. King here, king here, king here, king d8. If king come here, this way, okay? And if king come here, you have king here. King e5, you have king e7. King d5, you have king d7 this time. So you have a position. And in this way, there is no way to win for white. Do you want to try to push a pawn? It's not a problem, because here black can play simply this. Because if white here play king d5, I have the opposition in this way. King d7 is not important if you push the pawn. I can defend with king e7 and I prevent everything. And now, how can I draw this position? Be careful. You have to play king e8. So important, because if white plays king f6, now you have the opposition. King f8, like I told you last time. It's a draw, you can see. It's not important. It's really important. You have not to play. If you play this, white will have a position and white will be winning. If you play this, the same. You will lose. You have to play king e8, and if king d6, king d8. So remember these rules, the rules of opposition. Okay, the second problem. Here it's white to move. Black gains the opposition here. Can you see? Because if white move, black has the opposition. And there is no way. Or for example this, black has the opposition. Okay? But here there is an important difference. Here white can waste the time. So can push e4. And now white has the opposition. And in this way you win like before. If king come here, you come here. If king come here, you come here. And now you move the king and will be winning. So again, look well. Black here has the opposition, but be careful. White can waste the time. e4. Third problem. Okay, here is black to move, and you have to try to draw this position. Okay, you are in this position, and if you try something like ace a5 to push your pawn, white can play this b5, and now you have to be careful to draw this position. You can play king, you have to play king b8, because if you don't play king b8, you play something like this, or you push your pawn, you allow this king c7, and now white pawn will be a queen really soon. So here you have to play something like, if you play king a5, it's a draw, but you have to play king b8, and there is no way here for white to win, because white has to be careful for the black pawn, have to stop it. You have to play this, you are obliged, because I continue to push my pawn. Okay, and now it's a draw, because white can hold this position. Black can hold this position with the rules of opposition. So here, what I have to play here, be careful, not this. Yes, you could play this because you have one square left, but the rules of opposition again. If king come here, remember, king here to draw. Okay, opposition. If you don't want to push the pawn, you can draw in this way. It's the same. It's not important if white take the black pawn, because here you have not king a8, because white win with the, because here white has opposition, but with this a5, if white take with the pawn, you hold in this way. You hold in this way. Can you see? There is no way here. It's a draw. It's a completely draw position. So if you take with the king, it's a draw. You have to keep the opposition. How can you do? In this way. This is a draw. If you play this, you lose, because king b5 here, white has the opposition. So remember again. So here everything is a draw, but you have to remember to keep the opposition. Okay. Problem number 4. Okay, this is really nice. And there is a problem here. White has a pawn, but if you try to push the pawn, obviously king block, and there is no way to win. If you play in this way, black captures the pawn. So you have to move the king, okay? But only one move here wins. How can you spot this move? Maybe it's king b1, king b2, king c2, king d2, king d1. How can you find this move without a mind-blowing calculation? You can't count everything. You have to find the rule here. How can you do? The right move here, the only move to win, is king b2, because is the only way to gain the a4 square. Really important. The a and the a5 square to gain the opposition, because remember, you have to reach one of the square. It's the rules of a pawn. When you have a pawn in the second, third, or fourth rank, you have to reach. For example, if you have in the rank number 3, you have to reach one of the square of rank number 5. For example, a5, b5, or c5. Okay, because your pawn is on rank number 3. If your pawn is on b4, you have to reach a6, b6 and c6 with your king. If it is on b2, you have to reach a4, b4 and c4 without the opposition of black king. So if, for example, you have to reach a5, b5 and c5 without the opposition, the only move is king b2, because you have to reach there. King a5. King a5 is the square further from the black king, okay? If you play this, there is no way to stop you for black, because here, can you see, white has again the opposition. If king come here, you want to reach a5, I told you, one of the square. If black try to block you from the reaching of a5, b5, c5, you play king b4 and you have the opposition in this time, okay? So important. If you try another move, you want to try to reach b5 and c5, is not possible, because here black has the opposition. It's not important if you come here, because you want to be able to reach this square a5, b5, c5. Here black has the opposition, okay? Sorry, I mistake. In this way is winning for you have to play not this, because here white has the opposition. You have to play this. And if king come here, king b4, you have the opposition with king b6. If king come here, king c4, you have the opposition with king c6. For this reason is right king c7, okay? So I want to show you this with the fight from the engine to show you that that you can win. And with the computer, okay? I'm white and I have to win. The only way is king b2. Black move. Try to stop me, but I play king a3. And now, if I play king b4, it's a draw. Because he can play, I show you, king b6, and he will have the opposition. Can you see? I have to play king a4. Remember, you have to reach a4, a5, b5, c5 if your pawn is a third rank. And now I play king b, because if you want to stop my king a5, so he has to play king b6. But now I play king b4 and I have the opposition. And now he can do nothing. How can I continue? Not king b. Yes, I can play king b5 to win, because if I play king b7, I have the opposition. Remember it, okay? So it's so important, this. And now it's completely winning for me. I will continue to push my pawn, okay? And I repeat, it's not important if he play king b7. Now he don't want to play king b7, but if here he play king b7, because I have this waste of time. A b4, and I will gain the opposition with white, okay? And if king come here, I will come here, and I will push my pawn. If king come here, for example, I will play king b6, and now black lose the opposition, okay? If king come here, in this way I will push my pawn. And here it's completely winning for me. It's completely winning. Okay. Problem number 5. Okay, this time you have to calculate really well, but you have not to consider the rule of opposition, but the rule of the square. Do you remember? When you want to promote to a pawn, you have to build a square and see this. Opponent's king is inside the square or outside. For example, you have only 2 pawns. My white king is completely far away from the place, so I would be slow. If I try to activate my king, it's obvious that would be slow. Can you see? So I try to push my pawn, but this is a draw because here black king can play king d5 because it's inside in the square, okay? And it's not important here what happens. What my c pawn can't be pushed. So after this, I'm too slow, completely too slow. Okay, so you have to find some trick with the rule of the square. How can you? When I push a5, black can enter in the square. Can you see? I told you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is inside. Okay, and when I push king c6 and king is inside. So the only move here is c6. Really beautiful move because what black here has to capture, because if you move the king you will lose because I will take and I will promote. So black has to capture with the pawn, and now you block c6 from the reaching of the black king, and now you can push. And it's not important if black king can enter inside the square, because yes, now it's inside, but after a6 black can enter in the square, and now it's completely winning for white. Can you see? So it's winning. Okay, thank you very much. I will continue to show you some interesting problem of this book. This is so important to learn some endgame and to increase your elo. You have to learn how to draw some game with only pawns and king, or to win some game with only pawns and king. It's really important. And in this way you can learn a lot from chess. It's a really good book. And so I hope this video enjoy you. Thank you very much for watching my video, and see you soon with another video. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Bye bye. Thank you.